My name is Alicia Rocco, and I'm a natural health practitioner. And in this particular place that you're in or you're viewing is there are three businesses that actually go on here. Natural Approach to Health, in which I am a naturopath, and I see people on a one-on-one basis for their health and natural ways to do preventative health care or to fix illnesses. And then we have the Natural Approach Farm Store, which is our location where in which Natural Approach to Health resides. We also are sitting on a farm, which is called Alpaca Spring Valley, where we raise alpacas all naturally. Our farm is an all-natural farm. And then we also have here Journey to Botanicals, which is a company that I created and designed products that we wholesale and distribute. And that's for herbal remedies and essences. And so we actually have three companies: Natural Approach to Health, Alpaca Spring Valley, Journey to Botanicals, and they are all located at the Natural Approach Farm Store. Well, I'm located in Minerva, Ohio, which is about 15 miles east of Canton, Ohio, which is famous for its Football Hall of Fame. And I raised my children. I came from Canton. I came out here and I raised my children because I wanted to raise them in a small community. And I've had a lot of my clients ask me to move into the bigger town and have a big office, but that's just not me. I'm an old farm gal, so I like out here. We have located our practice and our store all in one building on this property, which is wonderful because then I get to see everybody and on a pretty regular basis. And it's just that down-home feeling. People like to come, and they like to come the way they come, and they want to say, this feels comfortable, this is nice, this is not the big office with the glass towers and so forth. I think that's probably the biggest thing about me is people have found me. Even though I'm out here in the middle of nowhere, so to speak, the alternative and complementary field is growing very fast. Here in Ohio, I am a naturopath, and they are not licensed in Ohio. 17 states license those. So a lot of the medical doctors are now getting on board and wanting to learn more about the herbs and natural ways of healing as well. So we're starting to come together. It's not always in a total agreement, but I think the medical field and the natural health field are starting to mesh and understand each other and see the value in it. I've come a long way. You couldn't even buy an herb on the shelf 40 years ago when I started. So now you see them everywhere. Now the cautions are, what are in these herbs? What else is in them? And where are they getting them from? So there's a lot of things you need to know in the natural health field before you just step into it. So I said 20 years ago, you're going to have a medical doctor and a natural health doctor to basically help you to understand the worlds and to understand what you can do to help your health. Well, I guess what sets us apart is that we take care of the whole family and all the animals on their farms or in their homes, and so that sets us apart. Plus, we have a little store here where we sell all of our alpaca clothing that we make from our fiber. Alpacas are livestock. We chose not to eat them. We chose to raise them strictly for their fiber, and so we have made a very diverse way of using that fiber, not only just for clothing, but we also started an insulation company for you to use it in your home when you're building or remodeling in the walls. And so we've really stepped out and done the research, and what most folks like about us the most is that we do everything all naturally, so they come in here to get not only their remedies for themselves, but their remedies for their animals as well, and they get that information. We also teach classes and all of that. We go and do shows, and we teach and speak and lecture on all of that. So we have a lot of people seeking us out. Some of the classes that we do here, we do a lot of two kinds of classes. First, for John Q. Public, we call it, and then we also do it for practitioners. Since I've been in the business so long, I can teach and train practitioners. And we teach in iridology, which is a fundamental part of my practice. We also teach all the herbs. We also teach the essences that I've created and designed as well for emotional healing. So we teach in-house classes for those who would like to come and be in person, but we also do webinars, and we're starting our whole list of how-to series of little booklets that you can download off of our website. Plus, you can also go to the webinar and listen to it if you choose not to read. Of course, in the webinars, you get those little pearls of wisdom that you don't get in the book. And so sometimes folks like to do both. So that's one of a couple of the things that we do as far as classes go. And then we go out, I go out and I teach and I lecture at naturopathic conventions and people that are involved in the natural health field. Plus we also go and we do things like the Mother Earth News Show, where there's animals and everybody wants to do everything natural on their farms and so forth. Well, we have classes here also where we teach felting and knitting and crocheting of the fiber. We have a lady that comes with her spinner and teaches the spinning. So a lot of times we have the school-age children will come and learn how to do some things, do some crafts and different things like that with the fiber. So it's kind of exciting. People really like they don't realize how much you can do with it. So. And then I teach an Alpaca 101 class for someone who would like to own an alpaca farm or buy one as an investment and would like to board it with us. I teach you all the tax write-offs, and I also teach you about all the things that we do on our farms. Here I have a practice and I see people by appointment. I do consultations. The first one is always 1 hour long. It takes that much time for me to get to know you, basically. And I use a tool called iridology, which is the practice and science of reading the eyes. I say it's similar to like a doctor's x-ray, but we just use a light and a magnifier and we look in your eyes and it tells us a lot. There's some things it cannot tell us, so therefore we also have, we take the blood work that you receive from your medical professional, and we have software that we run it through, and we read the blood differently than how the medical professionals do. So I use that as a second opinion, and then from there we use the herbs, and I've created and designed a lot of herbs recently from the rainforest, and I've actually infused my tree essences for emotional healing in it, so we're kind of working toward the physical and the emotional both in the healing work. So, and we set up a protocol. We help you to understand what foods you should be eating, what supplements you should be taking, what other therapies in the natural health field you should be taking. But I also say, if you should see your medical doctor, I think this is a good idea to do that. So then folks will come back on a regular basis, and they'll see me about every 3 months, and we'll check to see where they are. We'll have a discussion, and sometimes that needs to just be a half-hour consultation. See what they would like to do, what they want to work on. And if it's a more serious illness, then we're working more closely. We do it every 30 days, and we stay real close to each other by phone and email if there's emergencies. I have created a line of products that are called tree essences. Years ago, Dr. Bach was a medical doctor, and he created flower essences for emotional healing. And I chose trees because I'm very connected to trees. Native Americans were very connected to trees, and that's just who we are. And I began to make tree essences, and these were all for emotional healing. And I created a company called Journey to Botanicals. Well, with that, along the lines, we had the alpacas come along, and I started looking for herbs to give them as a supplement, a natural health supplement. Well, I found when I went to the rainforest, I had everything I was looking for. So I started making herbal remedies, and I infused those with my tree essences. So we're kind of working on you both physically and emotionally at the same time. So the rainforest herbs are very potent herbs. A lot of folks make medicine from them, and we have found that it works extremely well for us. So we started a distribution company called Journey to Botanicals, and we now teach and train practitioners how to use these, and also we sell them to them wholesale as well. I was out and about one day and I ran into a friend and we started talking about alpacas, and so I went to an alpaca farm and lo and behold I came home with 2 of them. So they were all brand new to me, so one of the most important things I do is I go out and I visit all the shows and all the farms, I do all the research. I looked and looked and looked and looked, and I just love these animals. They are so docile, and I'm not saying that they don't all have their own personalities, because they do. Most of them are docile. Every once in a while you get one that just doesn't like people. And they're easy to take care of. My sister and I run this farm totally ourselves, 100%. We don't have any men to lift hay bales for us or anything. We do it all. And what I found was that they were easy to care for, very easy to care for, which was even better yet. And I got this beautiful fiber from them. So because, you know, we knit, crochet, and we do all the things, that was so exciting for us. They're very healing, and we're really looking at our farm as finding a way that we can step out there and we can be a part of the healing process. Maybe with people with, you know, post-traumatic distress disorder. We have children with autism that visit here, you know, and we're really looking at what we might expand and do that way, and we're hoping that's going to come soon. Have also agritourism, so we have busloads of children and the elderly, and we have people that will come in that have health issues like autism and things of that nature. They'll come in and they be with the alpaca for a few hours, and we let them halter them, and we let them walk them and touch them and learn all about them and learn the do's and the don'ts. And we even let them, if they're really, really good to us, we give them a bucket and a scooper and we let them scoop poop. An alpaca is a wonderful investment as a pet as well. We do have pet alpacas that we sell to folks that just have a couple of acres and they want to have something for their children. They can learn to halter them and walk them and learn to clean up after them and feed them. They're just like the dog. The nice part is you don't get anything from the dog. You do get fiber from the alpaca, which you can have made into clothing for your family then. So, you know, we have pet alpacas, and we have alpacas for breeding and for herd sires that we also sell as well. The other thing that we have that goes on in a national way is National Alpaca Farm Days. That's the last weekend in September, and our farm is open. We usually have several hundred people here. They come, they pet them, they take pictures with them, they learn all about alpacas. We have a variety of things that we do for the children. We have a lot of children's activities with the animals, and we just have a really fun weekend is what we do. People come and learn about the alpacas, and they come and see what they can make from the fiber and what they can purchase. We have an observation deck here on our store. You can step right out on the porch and you can actually feed the alpacas. They'll come right up to you, and that's fun. Children love to touch them and feed them. So the alpaca products that we have in here, we get them from 2 areas. When we shear our animals, we shear them once a year, and usually around in May. Our fiber is sorted by a sorter. Some of our fiber then goes off to our co-op. We work with a co-op, and they make it into product like socks and hats and gloves and things of that nature. And then we get that back and we sell that in our store. So that's USA made, as we call it. And then we have other products. We have small communities in Peru of women that make product, and we buy from them, and it's shipped over here. We let people know that it's from Peru, and that's where it's at. We do not have enough alpacas here to fill this store with all the clothing, the hats, the gloves, the sweaters, and the scarves, and all the wonderful things. And there's something I want to say about alpaca that a lot of folks don't know. They think you have to wear something big and heavy with alpaca, and you do not. Lightweight alpaca is what is so wonderful about the product. You can have something very light on your body and be very, very warm. A lot of the products that we have in here, we try to take a range from men's products to women's products to children's products to baby products. And we try to turn our inventory over quite often. And one of the other things is sometimes when you come into the store, you see it and you say, oh, I'll come back and get that. Well, it's one of a kind and you're not going to get to come back and get it. So when you're here and you see something you like, you better get it. We chose to start an alpaca insulation company, which my niece now owns and runs. And she's taking really good care of that. We have a lot of Go Green people that are interested. We've had You know, the military's called us. We've had some interest in a lot of variety of things. So we finally found a place to put all that, what we didn't know what to do with. So every bit of my fiber is now used in one way or another. Nothing, we've always were raised with waste not, want not. And so we make sure that that's done. It's never boring. There is nothing here that I could ever tell you I have had one day of being bored. So we go from people to animals to sales to making products to cleaning up alpaca poop to baling hay to whatever it takes to make it all happen. So it's kind of versatile. You know, it's not one of those things that's a monotonous thing that you go to every day. And I think the very best part that I love the most about it is I answer to me. That's the first thing. And the second thing is that because it is not boring, I can reach out and I can step out with new ideas and create other things and make more things happen.